A very sad story that I am about to relate to the audience, a story of a fraud very well interpreted by a group of persons, or better, by a group of crooks. Because of this fraud, the writer has lost a lot of money. My aim is to relate my story as to prevent other people from falling in the crook's trap. At the beginning of December 2019, the writer was approached by Marco Calù, who, in the name of the company named marketbull, convinced me to invest a little sum of money as to taste how the company works, promising me good profits. This man called many times as to convince me to enter this business. At the end of the story, I gave him the credentials of my prepaid credit card, charged with only €250, telling him that I would like to start with only €100, not more. He took advantage of my good faith and invested the equivalent of $225. To my request to reimburse me the difference between $225 and 100, he convinced me to try some transactions first. I agreed. Calù introduced me to a consultant trade broker named Alex Dean, who made me earn $150 very soon. After months, unfortunately, he convinced me to invest more money, and I agreed upon. Beneficiary of this money was a company named Gruppolo, located in the Azzorre Island, St. Vincent and Grenadines. This location should have told me not to do the transfer, but I did it. Alex used to call me several times a day, giving me good advices. On the basis of it, I managed to earn some $3,000 in a few days. Now problems started. In fact, I had agreed to be reimbursed of the remitted money within 14 days, being in the need of money. At the agreed day, I did not receive my money. I asked him for my invested money and not of the profit. Alex, as part of the fraud, said that some tax had to be paid before he could transfer my money in the amount of 26% of the capital amount and amounting to $2,881. Obviously, I refused, and Alex lowered this sum to $200 and 100, and then to $1,500 at the end. Obviously, I did not pay. Also, because I had been informed by a legal studio in London that this tax had not to be paid, the studio said no way. If I had paid, most likely Alex would have asked me more money, justifying the request with the ongoing Brexit. Then he would have asked me more money as commissions from the bank remitting me the money. A never-end story, a big fraud. If I had paid these last amounts, I would have lost this money for sure. Perhaps I'm close to the truth, saying that the platform shown in my computer and the transactions made by the writer and by Alex were purely virtual, not existing. And also the profit was virtual. Well, after various attempts from Alex to make me pay ridiculous non-existing taxes and commissions, he entered into my accounts, and on February the 3rd this year, at 4:00 p.m., did a few transactions with the aim at producing losses to note not only my possibly earnings, but also my entire investment, showing a loss of $3,200. He had done this at the time when the writer was together with 6 friends who can testify that I was with them in that day and during the entire afternoon. Recently, I had received a call from one of these persons saying that he was the lawyer of the company, asking me to pay the above-mentioned amount, saying that I would receive a letter from the tribunal. Many telephone calls from prefects of UK, France, Switzerland, all coming from the same place. Only God knows from where. I should have looked at internet in the name of marketbull, where I could have read that other people had borne a fraud from marketbull, and therefore I could have dropped this business. Very stupid from me. Plus, as said before, when I got to know that the beneficiary was located in the Azore Island, I should have understood the fraud.